It must be heard. Radio.
Turn it up, 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 turn it up. Let's go. Turn it up, 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 turn it up. Let's go. It must be heard radio. Playing name stereo. Underground, we on the move, but selling they're black on the ones and twos. Turn it up, 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 turn it up. Let's go. Turn it up, 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 turn it up. Let's go. It must be heard radio. Playing name stereo. Underground, we on the move, but selling they're black on the ones and twos. Turn it up.
What up, what up? It's your boy Jet Black. We are missing my rib today. Again, she's still a little under the weather. But we believe God for healing because we know that he is a healer. And without him, we have nothing. So, thanks for tuning into the show. We're so glad to have you. We got a great show, or I have, because I'm so used to saying we. But I got a great show lined up for you today. Got a awesome artist, something really good for y'all, and I hope you are ready because it is going to be a great show. First and foremost, as always, we always start with the scripture of the day. So why not start with my favorite scripture, Matthew 6:33. It says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." My mother quoted that scripture to me every day during my prodigal son season, and it really stuck with me. Because it just was, there was a lot going on, and I won't go into details, of course, but I think a lot of us have those times where we feel like we want to do whatever we want to do. And I used to say that a lot. I was always saying, I'm sick of doing everything that everybody's expecting for me to do. I just want to do what I want to. And it's not about what we want ourselves, because if we do what's in our human nature, we're going to see it. It's guaranteed. That's going to happen. That's just the nature of who we are. But it doesn't have to be that way. And then, there are other times where we want to push the issue with certain stuff. We want our business to take off. We want this, we want that. And it's always, I want. And it's not about what God wants for us. So we have to learn to just seek God first and let him do everything else, because without him, we have nothing. So he's the author and finisher of our faith. He's the giver. He is the taker. So seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Shout out to our sponsor on today's episode. I know this is something that's brand new, but if you on our Facebook Live, you can actually see our sponsor for today, Anita's Beauty and Lashes. Head over to her Facebook page. She has a great selection of different things for you that range anywhere between eyelashes, of course, t-shirts, tumblers, you name it. So just head over to facebook.com/Anita's Beauty and Lashes, and there you can reach out for her services. She even does beauty consultation. Yeah, I struggle. That's okay. Their motto: beauty is in your DNA. I just enhance it. So shout out to Anita's Beauty and Lashes. Thank you for sponsoring today's episode. We got something, again, great lined up for you. But we'll get there in just a minute. Let's head over and start diving into some music, and we'll be back with our interview with Zay Marr.
Let's go. It's been a minute.
honest. Sometimes I lose my mind and have a hard time trying to find it. I find that tribulations be coming around like the seasons. And the times I struggle with them, I'm walking around so defeated. I'm breathing but not alive. Depression is on the rise. Uncertainty of the future steady eating me alive. I'm inside a hole when it's closed. I'm claustrophobic. Panic mode turning on and really not sure how to slow it down, let alone stop it. My brother told me to stop it. Freaking out is not an option. Be stronger, your baby's watching. Keep your head up, gotta fight it. At this point, I'ma start a riot. I know he trying to encourage me with everything he say. He attempting to give me peace without me giving his cliches. Man, I need something more, then everything will be okay. Tomorrow's a brighter day. Jesus, where can I put my faith? It's that life outside the grave. My only hope is that you say yes. Oh yeah, that's one thing that I know. I'm sick of these cliches, man, I swear they gotta go. Oh yeah, and I need something real to get me through the pain, help me deal. They tell me to keep my head up. They tell me to keep my head up. They tell me to keep my head up. But I'm like, that's easier said than done. Okay, I'll be honest. I'm sick of these cliches, sick enough that I could vomit, I promise. That I'm not trying to be a rude jerk. It's just I'm looking for something real to come here to hurt. I'll be specific. Corona got all us tripping, killing thousands by the week, and I'm weak enough to fall out. The media, it don't help. I cut it off and throw it out. I can't see how everything gon' seem to work itself all out. Not just with that, but death in general. Maybe it's the millennial in me that got me contemplating my future demise. They tell me to lift my head, and I say I wish I could, but it's a heavy stone on my neck, and I have no strength to rise. Can't you see? I guess not, man, so I'm on my own. Now I'm running to your throne. I need an anchor for my soul. Hold me down, I'm almost gone. I take the pain if I could know that you sovereign and control. Is that true? Oh yeah, that's one thing that I know. I'm sick of these cliches, man, I swear they gotta go. Oh yeah, and I need something real to get me through the pain, help me deal. They tell me to keep my head up. They tell me to keep my head up. They tell me to keep my head up. But I'm like, that's easier said than done. Keep my head up. They tell me to keep my head up. They tell me to keep my head up. But I'm like, that's easier said than done.
All right, welcome back. All right, we got this. We ready, man. We ready. So, it is my honor, my pleasure to introduce to all of you the artist of the week, the interview that some of y'all I know have been probably waiting on, since we've been posting this all week long. Introduce to some, present to others. Zay Marr.
What up, man? What up, Jet Black? It's an honor to be here, man.
Man, it's great to have you on, bro. So I'm just, we open book here. You know what I'm saying? The floor is basically yours. I'm gonna ask some questions, of course, and let's start with introduction, man. Introduce yourself. Where you from? How old are you? Married? Not? All that good stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. So my name is Zay Marr. I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan, Midwest. It's a beautiful day here in Michigan. It's a summer day. I'm enjoying the weather. I'm 24 years old, man. I started rapping when I was 14, so I'm about a decade in now. But I would say, man, as far as like taking a career seriously and actually taking, investing into myself financially, with my energy, my resources, a couple years. Yeah, man, I'm not married yet. I do have a girlfriend right now. She's super special, man. And it's all God, man. It's just crazy. The story that her and I have is it's definitely God that brought us together. So, yeah, man. Yeah, so music, man, is I don't know. It's just something that when I first started, honestly, it wasn't that deep, bro. It was just like, back then I was really heavy into drugs when I was 14. And, I kind of lost my way in a sense because I was raised Christian, in a Christian home for the most part. I mean, I moved around a lot in my life. So I've lived with my mom, with my grandparents. I've stayed with my dad because they separated when I was young. So, and I've lived all over the country. I've lived all over the U.S. because my mom was also in the military. So whenever she would get transferred to like different military bases, my younger sister and I would move with her. So, yeah, man, I was exposed to a lot of different cultures, a lot of different people, a lot of different situations, all before I was 18. But yeah, man, at 14, I was back in my home state of Michigan, back in my hometown of Bay City. And my friends there, you know, that was when we were freshmen in high school. And, you know, all my friends were they were into drugs, they were into chasing women, girls, chasing girls, you know, skipping school, all that. And I kind of just fell in with that because I felt like I moved around so much that I never really fit in anywhere. Because even though I saw a lot and I experienced a lot, you know, I just felt like where's my place? Like, who am I? Yeah. And I think a big part of that is normal. Being a teenager, I mean, we all go through, that's the discovery phase of life. Yeah. You know, figuring out who you are, what you're about, who you want to be in your circle. So I was going through all that, man, which is pretty normal, but I got pretty heavy into drugs, man. And one of the only good things about that part of my journey was I fell in love with rap. And it definitely was not faith oriented at all. It was definitely very raunchy. I mean, your normal hip hop. Back then, man, I was listening to Lloyd Banks, G Unit, Eminem, all of them. So yeah, man, it was just like freestyling. It was getting messed up and freestyling. And, you know, we just had this little closet. We'd put up a mattress as the door. And, you know, it was super ghetto, man. We used the sock as a pop filter. That's crazy. We didn't have money, man. So we just made it work, you know? So that was when I fell in love with rap.
I think for a lot of us artists, those humble beginnings, man, some people got some stories, bro. Me and my best friend, man, I was staying in the trailer by myself, and I had produced a track just south of a little challenge kind of thing, and he came over. I didn't have a microphone, nothing like that. I just because I always been a gamer, so I had like a Logitech headset that I was playing my on my computer with.
Oh yeah.
And I took the little filter off of there, and I had a mic stand there, so I put the mic and like taped it around the filter, and then we just held a towel over our head, and we recorded the verses that way so that it muffed out the sound. It was crazy.
Man.
So I definitely understand the struggle, bro.
Yeah, man. You gotta make it work with what you have, you know.
Definitely.
And you know, some people, you know, they got money to where they can invest, which eventually I did. You know, eventually once I started really discovering that, like, hey, man, this is something I really love doing. You know, I worked, you know, food. I worked at a Ponderosa Steakhouse, stuff like that. I worked on a farm at one point, and you know, I started stacking my money up, you know, and bought, you know, just like a $250 studio bundle online, like PreSonus. You know, pretty basic level gear, but it was enough to get me going. You know, it was better than just recording off a laptop microphone, and you know, so just kind of working my way up.
Yeah, I feel you. So tell me, so I heard you as far as your influences wise. So would you say that the artists that you listened to back then kind of influenced you into hip hop, or how did you make the transition from just normal regular hip hop into Christian hip hop?
Yeah, I would say yes and no. I mean, there was a lot of artists I listened to back then before I made my faith my own. There was a lot of artists I listened to that, like, I would say they influenced my mentality, but they didn't necessarily influence my style of music that I would make. So for instance, one of those artists was Kid Cudi. So he was one of the first artists I listened to, man, because he dropped an album called Man on the Moon in 2009. And that was right around the time where I was falling in love with rap. And I heard this album, and he was the first artist I heard that was like, he made it cool to be yourself. You know, his thing was like, you know, I'm the man on the moon. I feel like I don't fit in nowhere. I'm just me. You know, he wasn't talking about, oh, I got these flashy things or all these women or nothing. He was just like, he was himself, and he was embracing that. And for me, I was like, man, I felt this way my whole life. And that was the first time I heard somebody talking about that on a song. And I was like, I was just so inspired. And I was like, man, I want to make music like that. I want to be able to make a song just being me. And I want people to hear that and to be encouraged that they too can be themselves, you know? So yeah, man. So that, to answer your question, like, there are a few artists that I listened to when I first started that still influence me now. But then when I began to make faith-based music, I was 16, you know, and I had reached my bottom. And what I mean by that is I just reached a point where, you know, doing drugs, chasing girls, living my own way, it wasn't working for me no more. You know, and everyone that tells their story, you know, they all have different moments that they could say of like, oh, that was my worst, you know. So I'm not saying this to compare with anybody, because I know there's people that have had it a lot worse than me. But I had it bad for me, man. And it was like, you know, I was 16 and I could not stop using drugs. That was my purpose in life, man. And that was something I swore I'd never do, because I saw a lot of my family members go through it and be locked up, and, you know, feds bust in and catch my dad, and you know, watching my mom not be able to get out of bed because she was super high, you know. And so I saw this growing up, but I was like, no, I'm not going to be like that, you know. I swear I'll never go down that path. And then there goes I, you know, walking the same path without even realizing it. So then finally I hit my bottom, man. I was 16. I was a junior in high school. I was skipping class. I ended up getting expelled because I had drugs and a weapon on me at the school. My mom found out. She kicked me out because she was like, yeah, I can't handle you. You won't listen to anything I say. You don't respect me. You got to go. You know, so I went to live with my dad. He lived in this trailer park, and I lived there, man, and it got even worse. And it was like the dead of winter, you know, and Michigan winters are nothing to play around with. And it was just like, man, we're out in the country, dead of winter. I have no school, no employment. All my friends didn't want to be my friends no more because I would steal from them, or I would lie and manipulate them. I was just lost, man. And finally, I was about to get high like I did so many times before, man. And I just had this moment of peace. It was just a moment that was not of my own doing, man. And I didn't know what it was at the time, but it was just something outside of me was like, Zay, stop. Like, look at yourself. What are you doing? You know, and it was kind of that moment of just like self-reflection of like, man, is this really what I want to do? Is this what I'm about? Is this it for me? You know? So I had that moment at 16, man. And then it was just a slow, gradual process over the years of just getting my stuff together, man, getting myself right, figuring out who I am. You know, and then I decided like, you know, I'm going to get clean from drugs. And I did that. You know, and I got involved with the recovery community that was really supportive of that. You know, and then I got back to my faith and back to my roots. And I was like, man, I want to give this another shot, but I want to do it wholeheartedly. Yeah. You know, because as a kid, it's like, it's cool to grow up in church, but like, I didn't really understand fully what it meant to be a Christian and to let the Lord be my number one guidepost. It was just like, oh, faith is just something like, oh, it's something I mark on a dating profile. Oh, I'm Christian, or something that you just tell people, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, but it's just like, it's a different path to live that. So I feel like at 16, that was when I was like, man, I'm going to really give this a wholehearted try. So I actually took a year off of making music because the music I was making prior to that, man, was just trash. It was garbage, man. And it's not online no more. Thank God. I took it down. But you know, I took a year off, man, just to get myself right. And after that, I didn't know if I was going to come back to music. I was like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was just a phase or a season, but I knew I loved hip hop, man. Cause I felt like it gave me a voice when I never had one before. You know, I felt like I could be me and I could say what I wanted to say. Cause as a kid, I just felt like my voice was snuffed out a lot of times, you know, and I couldn't say what I wanted to say in the moment, or nobody would listen to me or respect what I had to say. So hip hop gave me that platform. So after a year of figuring out who I was and what I was about, man, I felt God convicting me of just like, hey, you're going to do this music thing, but you're going to do it for me now.
That's what's up. So tell us about, so you got a track called Hunt. Tell us about that, bro.
Yeah, man. Hunt. That's one of my favorite songs, man, because it reminds me, you know, to never get too comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of times in life where, you know, you'll hit a certain milestone. Like, you know, I'm the first in my family to graduate with a bachelor's degree. I graduated from Grand Valley University in West Michigan, man. And that's a crazy story in and of itself. But
congratulations.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, I graduated 2018. You know, it's just like the concept of Hunt is to just remind myself to never get too comfortable in life, no matter what that is. You know, whether that's attaining goals, like physical goals, or like, you know, working on myself. You know, always be on the hunt, always have hunger for more. Especially in my walk with the Lord, it's like, you know, as soon as I think I know God and I have a solid relationship, the more I read scripture, or the more I just live life, the more I realize there's more to learn, there's more to grow, you know, so I got to stay hungry for that. So it can be applied in a lot of areas of life, man, but it's that reminder, bro, just stay on the hunt, you know, keep going, keep moving. So yeah, man, that's what that's about.
Let's check it out, bro. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, this is Hunt by Zay Marr.
Let's get it.
Marr. Mistakes and revealed redemption.
Beat me up, Scotty.
Got some dream, got some goals, and the works. How I live, I can swim with the sharks. Ask my dad, what's a mar? That's a curse. Not today, break the chain. I'm on the hunt. Got some dream, got some goals, and the works. How I live, I can swim with the sharks. Ask my dad, what's a mar? That's a curse. Not today, break the chain. I'm on the hunt. Breaking that chain right now. Making that thing go bow. Feeding my faith, no doubt. I'ma chase God, not cloud. I don't live life for the followers. Look at me, I'ma die for this. Trying to make a living when I write my words. Wanna live right for the Father first. They hunt for the dough, they hunt for the book. I hunt for the soul, I hunt for the love. Shout out my brothers, I love them on everything. If they in trouble, then I'm pulling up. Get up, yeah. Gotta make a move, man, I gotta pay the rent. Life is a musical, I wanna get a hit. Love is the season, believe that I binge. Watch it again and again and again. Dreaming for this one since I was a kid. Used to be limited, now I'm infinity. Really be focused on building a bridge between me and my dreams. I see things with high beams, connecting my purpose to everything that I'm working. Been it up in the moment, I gotta make it. I want it since I was living at my grandma's. I don't run from a battle, man, I'ma hit 'em with ammo and I'ma get 'em with the impact. Give me the mic and I rock it, I'm taking off like a rocket. I'm getting rid of all the bad thoughts. I'm in a hustle and bustle, I gotta work me a double until I make it to the finish. I'ma kill it like this. Got some dream, got some goals, and the works. How I live, I can swim with the sharks. Ask my dad, what's a mar? That's a curse. Not today, break the chain. I'm on the hunt. Got some dream, got some goals, and the works. How I live, I can swim with the sharks. Ask my dad, what's a mar? That's a curse. Not today, break the chain. I'm on the hunt. Zay Marr, I'm on a mission to get what I want. Take care of business. I'm not a chump, I am a champion. This is a level they can't be on. Love is the key with the kingdom heart. Take up my cross, I'm in master form. Blood on my veins, where did it come from? Look how I crashed up from the dungeon into the masses. I will impact them. Look how I bludgeon and cover them up with the love of the Lord. I'm giving life, yeah, the mic is my sword. Look at me slicing and dicing like Jason. I'm meant to be slaying it for the magnificent since I was born. I remember when the people looking at me said I wasn't never gonna be none. Now they looking at my situation full of hatred and they wishing for that refund. I don't take it personal, I better when I'm an underdog and I would never back off. I've been feeling underrated, y'all don't get it, so you know I had to go and kill this. Ooh, yeah, switching it up. Look at me, living it up. Ooh, yeah, can't get enough. Out with the love, sing out I trust. Telling my story, pick up my project. Father, please warn them, I'ma get honest. I'ma get
get stormy, but I give a light too. This is my moment, I'm telling what I might do, yeah. Got some dream, got some goals, and it works. How I live, I can swim with the sharks. Ask my dad, what's a mar? That's a curse. Not today, break the chain, I'm on the hunt. Got some dream, got some goals, and the works. How I live, I can swim with the sharks. Ask my dad, what's a mar? That's a curse. Not today, break the chain, I'm on the hunt.
I'm gonna tell y'all. So we play this song, bro. I don't know if you know that we play this song quite often.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Yeah, you get pretty good significant spins here, man.
I love it.
So yeah, I mean the point of the song, bro, like it's good. It's good. The first time, I'll tell you this, the first time we heard it, I looked at my wife, I was like, babe, this is really good. Like with this, you know how people get when they get something they've been waiting for a minute. Like kids when they get excited about stuff, so they get this cheesy looking look on their face. So I was like, ooh. I was like, hey babe, this is really good. She was like, yeah, it is. So
Appreciate
so
that, man.
production wise, who produced it?
Yeah, man. So that's actually that's a producer that I found online, man. So I was like, which is rare, you know what I'm saying, to find somebody like, whether, I think I found that dude. You ever heard of SoundClick?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So like, SoundClick's been around for a while, but it's, for people that don't know what SoundClick is, it's a place that you can find a lot of music, but most people go on there for instrumentals. A lot of producers will go on there and they'll have their own individual artist page of just beats. And bro, I've spent countless hours. You'll spend countless hours, bro, on one producer's page trying to find a beat that you like. So it takes a long time to find something, bro. But when I found that, I was like, man, I'm about to cook. I'm about to make something crazy to this. Like, I just loved everything about it sonically. And I didn't, honestly, because I mixed it myself. When I was mixing and I got the stems, you know, the individual track outs, I was like, you know, sometimes you got to like switch the beat up because it's like a loop and it's too like repetitive. But like with that beat, I didn't do nothing to it, man. I just let it be what it was. Actually, you know what? That's not true. In the second verse, I did chop it up a little bit. You'll hear like there's a part where I break it down.
Yeah.
But I didn't add anything to it. All I did was take what was there and I just kind of just like silenced a couple pieces of the music and then brought it back in later. So yeah, man, it was perfect. I loved it.
It definitely be like that sometimes though. I know myself, bro. Like when it comes to other producers and stuff, sometimes I would just take matters into my own hands because I'll be looking for something specific. And yeah. I'm just like, I'm not getting it. And so then I get something from somebody and I'm like, you know what? What if I do this? And then, you know, little zhuzh and little tweaks or whatever. And then you got a masterpiece. But sometimes you get them gems like that just, they set up and ready for you as if it was specifically handcrafted for you to have it.
Facts.
So
yeah. The name of that producer is Scotty. He goes by Scotty. I think you hear his tag in the beginning. He says like, "Beam me up, Scotty." That was actually his tag. I was like, dang, I didn't even want to take that out because it fit the vibe perfect.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's a dope tag. Beam me up.
So tell us, like, have you done any like collaborations or anything like that with other artists?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I got a track out there with my brother. His name is Kiwi Morse. We got a song out there called Financial Disrespect. You know, and he's a really good man. He's a really good friend of mine. We actually, what's up? Hold the phone.
All right, yeah. I've been waiting for this one. So Financial Disrespect. I don't want to take away from his shine, but Financial Disrespect. Spill it, man. Spill it. Why?
Yeah, man. You know, because it's something that needs to be said. You know, and it's something that specifically as Christian artists, we've all thought about at one time or another. You know, it's that idea of, you know, we're out here doing ministry. If you call yourself a Christian hip-hop, not even a hip-hop artist, a Christian artist, you know, a big portion of that is ministry.
Yeah.
But there's a whole other side to it, which is the business side that a lot of people don't talk about, or they just don't want to talk about. And it's like, me and Kiwi, we had just did a show in Michigan, and we were leaving the venue, and you know, they had paid us, but you know, we were like, dang, like we didn't feel like we got compensated, you know, quite how we felt we should have been compensated. But we weren't like mad or nothing, but we just, that initiated the conversation out in the parking lot. We were like, man, like how many times have we been, you know, we went out and did a show and we drove hours, you know what I'm saying, and had to get our own lodging and, you know, no pay or nothing. It's like, it's hard to do. So we're just like, man, you know, there should be a song about that. And I was like, you know what, and it didn't even hit me in the moment to like make a song about it, but then like sometime later I heard that beat and it just felt like, you know, this is the type of beat that I gotta talk some stuff on. You know, and so I was like, man. So then I started talking about that idea of financial disrespect, of just like, you know, when you come to the table with your gifts and your talents and your abilities, and for somebody to expect you to just do it for free all the time, just like because it's ministry, that feels disrespectful. You know, that's like me coming to work on, you know, to do some work on your house, and it's like, you know, I may be a friend or I may be a good person, that's cool, but at the end of the day, it's like I still have a mission and I still have needs that I got to make sure my lights are still on, you know. So that's really what it came out of, man. And you know, it wasn't a shot at nobody in particular. It was just a general feeling that I think a lot of the hip hop community specifically can relate to. But also, you know, if you're working your job, because I've worked so many jobs, man, where it's like I'm doing all this hard work and I'm making minimum wage, you know, and it's like, dang, you know, especially now, right now, I'm just gonna bring this up, like during this COVID-19 pandemic, you know what I'm saying? All these frontline workers, I think as a society, we're really seeing how valuable they are. You know, all these people working fast food, working at Walmart, working at Meijer, Target. It's like, man, a lot of these people are making minimum wage. You know, that's, in my mind, I'm like, that's disrespectful, man. It's like, we rely on these people, you know, to provide our bare necessities, you know? It's just like, I don't know, I feel like people deserve more than that. So that's where that comes from, man. Got my homie Kiwi on it, and man, it's a banger. It's a banger.
I'm gonna play it, but then we gotta talk about that after, cause yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not ready, sorry. This is Financial Disrespect by Zay Marr.
Man, y'all think I'm rich or something, huh? I don't get it. Tell them to cut me a check. Okay, I'm blessed. They want me charging them less. Oh man, that hurts my chest. Why am I wasting my breath? Something I expect. Feels like I had to address the financial disrespect.
Tell them to cut me a check. Okay, I'm blessed. They wanted me wasting my time. Oh man, hurts my chest. Why am I wasting my breath? Something I expect. Feel like I had to address the financial disrespect.
They think that just cause I'm saved, I don't need money to save. They don't want me talking about it, but I say it till I am blue in the face. I'm on the hunt for some honeys, I need my abundance. I'm not finna bargain, quit talking that rubbish. No, don't flip the subject, I gotta get something. If not, then I'm robbing, put money in bag. I'm lying, this isn't a heist, but I stand by it, I won't be polite. Taking advantage of most of my life, so don't be surprised that I'm naming my price. No, I'm not backing off, treat me with dignity. I never lit up, but I am the picketies. Look at my catalog, I got experience. Zay Marr from Saginaw gives you the very best. Some think I'm overachieving, I'm just releasing endorphins. Some say I'm selfish and greedy, I really don't ask for a fortune. Don't be expecting no features, don't be expecting performance. If y'all avoid talking about wages, I really don't ask for the Forbes list. Tell them to cut me a check. Okay, I'm blessed. They want me charging them less. Oh man, that hurts my chest. Why am I wasting my breath? Something I expect. Feels like I had to address the financial disrespect.
Tell them to cut me a check. Okay, I'm blessed. They wanted me wasting my time. Oh man, hurts my chest. Why am I wasting my breath? Something I expect. Feel like I had to address the financial disrespect. Why you trying to break my pockets when we both know that you got it? Oh man, playing dumb now, using me for my talent. I ain't no program filler. Boy, I'm trying to do this for a living. Put some respect on my name. Don't play me because I am Christian. I need my little money, so quit your little talking. Cause you wasting your time. Contract, you sign. Dot that white line. Kiwi, can you do a free feature? No. Kiwi, can I get a free t-shirt? No. Jeez, I'm tired of y'all leeching. All of that disrespect.
Tell them to cut me a check. Okay, I'm blessed. They want me charging them less. Oh man, that hurts my chest. Why am I wasting my breath? Something I expect. Feels like I had to address the financial disrespect.
Tell them to cut me a check. Okay, I'm blessed. They wanted me wasting my time. Oh man, hurts my chest. Why am I wasting my breath? Something I expect. Feel like I had to address the financial disrespect.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so that was Financial Disrespect featuring Kiwi. And yeah, so all right. All right, that, you know what? There ain't no way to go into it, just ask. All right. So you know, I get it. You know, sometimes we as artists put ourselves out you know, out to go the extra mile for all of our, you know, for the ministry's sake. Let me quit stuttering here. And granted, you know, there are people who take advantage of that, and it's a sad reality that somebody has to create a song that is controversial enough to ruffle your feathers a little bit, but hopefully it brings light and attention to something that's a real issue. Because there are a lot of artists that are independent out here that's working every day. They're not asking for a fortune. They're not asking to break the bank or nothing like that. They're not asking for, dare I say, a 116 type concert. Because along with that comes a 116 type budget. So, you know, it's what's freely received is freely given. You know, and so churches take up offerings and all that stuff all the time. Support people, man, because I mean it costs money to do almost anything these days. Like even free stuff isn't free because you get slammed to death with ads until you pay for the free stuff. Until you dump the free subscription.
Right.
But I noticed he said something about no free t-shirts or nothing like that. Now that right there I might say is that one's a little tough.
yeah it's you know, it's generally speaking, you know, it's not that, I just want to be clear, it's not that I don't do anything for free. I've done so many events, features for free. It's not about that. It's not saying like, oh, I'm not going to do it if there's no money on the table. That's not what I'm saying. The whole point of this song, man, is to just say like, I might do it for free, but that's on my terms. Don't come to the table expecting like somebody hit me up like, oh man, hey, I got this song, you know what I'm saying? I'll get on it. But then as soon as we talk like, okay, like budget, if somebody doesn't have a budget, you know what I'm saying, and I'm passionate about the project, I'm going to do it because I want to do it.
Yeah.
But it's the conversation that people don't want to have. It's like taboo almost. And it feels weird a lot of times. So that's all I'm saying, you know, just as long as we can have that conversation, if the budget's not there, the budget's not there. And if, you know, we'll either work or we won't work. And that's the other thing is I want to normalize, like, it's okay to say no.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always a good fit. It doesn't always make sense, you know, and it doesn't make you a bad Christian or a bad minister or a bad person if you choose not to work with somebody for really any reason, you know. But the main thing, man, is to just normalize having the conversation about, okay, because this is a business. Yeah. Part of it is business. So it's like, let's talk business. but yeah, man,
I mean,
there's
you
just a lot of,
you get to claim some of the stuff on your taxes too, because my tax preparer every year would always ask me, okay, so what all equipment have you bought this year?
yep.
Where have you gone? Where have you traveled to that you were just doing music stuff? Have you, anything like that? So, it's an investment that we make as far as artists are concerned.
Definitely.
And I think the same investment goes for like churches and stuff like that. If you have a youth event, you definitely want to tailor that youth event to like the person that's coming. So, get the right thing that fits. You don't want to have a youth event and then you get like you're trying to have a outreach. Let's say you're trying to have an outreach service for your young people there, or trying to get people like young people to come from off the street. It's gonna be real hard to get them to come if you just stick in tradition everything on them. And then even myself, we've hosted events where we used to host a concert called The Bridge every year. We would have had it this year, but thanks to Miss Rona messing everybody's summer up, we won't be having it this year. But
Next year.
But we bring all these different artists in from different places. So last year we actually brought a couple of artists from out of state because they were interested in tagging on. And we told them, we can't guarantee that we can give you anything when you come because it's a free event. We don't charge for people getting in and all of that, and then we didn't have a budget for it either. But what we did allow was for them to set up their merchandising table. We didn't take anything from them, so what they made, right? So we ended up getting a decent offering, and we were able to help out them at least a little, but it was nothing like what we wanted to do. So they were really nice. They were real good about it. They was like, what, it's fine, don't worry about it. I feel like God will take care of it on the other hand, because the one thing about God is that he knows our heart's intent. So when he knows the giver's heart's intent, then he'll make provision for them to be able to get, for that person to be provided for, in other words, some kind of way or another. Well, a few months down the line, I was talking to one of the guys. He's from Jacksonville, Florida, or Gainesville, Florida. And he was saying, man, I was apologizing to him again because I felt terrible at the fact that we weren't able to give him what we expected to be able to give him. And he said, man, look, I'm not even worried about it. He said, I didn't even tell you. I meant to, but we was also tired from driving all day trying to get to Tupelo so he can get to this event and all that. And we were worn out because I was at the venue all day long, getting everything together, sound equipment, lights, all that stuff. And so we were exhausted by the time we got home. He said it just slipped his mind. But he said, I'm going to tell you something that happened. One of the guys that was there walked up to him, and he said God told him to bless him with this offering that he had. And he said it was like the last $200 that he had.
Wow.
And he put it in his pocket and told him, man, you really blessed us today, and God told me to give this to you. He said, he was reluctant to take it at first, and he said, well, the guy just took it in his pocket and walked off. And I was like, wow, look at God.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what we were going to give him. And he ended up getting more than what we were initially going to give him in the first place, just from being obedient. He said that for like, it was on his spirit the whole week long, the whole month long, about coming up here. So he said, don't worry about anything. He's coming regardless of anything. Just don't worry about it. He'll be here. And he said he was glad he was obedient. So, it's a lesson for both the artist and the person who's booking the venue, because God will provide either way it goes, as long as your heart is in the right place. Like I said, our heart was in the place for providing for this, for him, for coming so far, and God gave it anyway. So, but you mentioned your girlfriend earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long y'all been together, sir?
Yeah, man. You know, it's not. I mean, I guess it's public now, but you know, been keeping it private for the most part, man. But yeah, man, we've been knowing each other for 6 years, and we had dated back then for just over a year. You know, she's amazing, man. Super Christ-centered, huge servant's heart. Just has a love for life, man, and it's really refreshing. She really does bring the best out of me in a lot of ways. You know, but then, you know, we went through this season where God was calling us in different paths. You know, we met on the east side of Michigan back then, and you know, she was going down to Atlanta for ministry school, and I was moving over to the west side of Michigan to go to college. You know, so we had that very difficult conversation of like, well, what are we gonna do? You know, what does this look like moving forward? You know, and I remember I offered her, I was like, hey, you can move to Grand Rapids with me. We'll make it work. She's like, I can't, you know. And then she counter offered and said, well, you know, come to Atlanta, you know, we'll figure things out. And I was like, you know, God was calling us in very different directions in that season. And we were like, well, should we try the long distance thing? Or like, nah, because I've done that before, and it's hard, man. It's hard. I commend any couple that has ever done long distance in any capacity, man. It's challenging.
Shout out to my wife.
yeah, man. That's what's up. I respect that. It's not easy, man. And we just weren't in a place to where we felt like we could make something like that work. So we had ended it, man. And it was hard. I definitely did not take it very well. I went through like different seasons of like being okay with it, and then just being mad at her, being mad at me, being mad at God, all that, man. And then it's crazy, bro, because January 1st of this year, bro, on a whim, I went on a trip and to Atlanta, and it was with a bus full of people from Gladwin, Michigan. I have a lot of friends in Gladwin, and they were going on this trip, and you know, I just walked. It was like a last minute thing, man. I hop on the bus. It was like nighttime, and she was on the bus, man. Her and her sister were on the bus, and I was like, it was weird because we hadn't talked in years, and I don't know, man. Just on that trip, it was just like we had a lot of time to kind of connect and figure out what it was, man. And ever since then, we've just been connecting, bro, and just man, it's beautiful. We neither one of us expected that though. So I just want to say, as an encouragement to anybody out there, you know, if a relationship does end, you know, that might not be the end of the story. There's no, like, I thought it was the end of the story. I thought once we were over, that was it, man. And I still don't know how it ends because we're still figuring it out, and we're on this path. But
it wasn't twist outs. It was like, they were, well, basically, for lack of a better term, they were dreads. I had started with them finger coiled, and then it went from that to they were really long at one point, and so it is extremely high maintenance. I ended up cutting my hair too. So
yeah, man. Yeah, it was I grew it out, man. No cuts for 3.5 years. You know, and I don't know, I wanted to. I had never had long hair, and I was like, man, I just want to do it. You know, and I experimented with a couple different hairstyles. I initially wanted dreads, you know, because I saw people with dreads. I was like, man, that would be so cool. Like, I definitely see myself rocking some dreads. But then I had some friends tell me, like, well, try it braids first. Because if you get dreads and you don't like dreads, you got to chop it off. I mean, you can undo dreads, but it takes a long time. You'd be better off. You'd be better off just cutting it off. So I was like, all right, so I'm gonna try braids out. The first time I got braids, I wasn't in love with it because it was like a different style, but I found a style that I really liked, man. It was basically cornrows. I will say that I'm gonna miss my cornrows. I definitely like having them, bro. But it was painful getting put in. I'll tell you that much, bro. I'm tender-headed for real. Like this, especially this last time. I mean, I'll tell you what, bro. The girl that did them, she did amazing. but it was the most painful experience my scalp has ever gone through. Bro, I was like, she was like, I had to take breaks. I was like, all right, I need to go outside, get some fresh air with like half a head of braids and half a head of just long wavy hair. Like I need an intermission on this. But yeah, man, I decided to cut it off, during this quarantine because I was just, it's been a long time coming, honestly. I was just like, man, I'm just getting sick of it, getting all my hair clogged in my shower drain, having to buy Drano every other week, getting clogged up in my coat zipper, just in my food. I'm over it, man. So, yep, I did my thing, man. Broke out the scissors and broke out the guard and did my thing.
That's what's up. So tell me about, this is probably one of the hypest songs you got that I've heard anyway. As of right now. Tell us about Wake It Up, man.
Yeah, man. Bro, I wanted something that we could rage to at the show. That's what Wake It Up was. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and bro, when we perform that at the show, we mosh. Like, we have mosh pits, bro. I mean, there's been no serious injuries that I'm aware of, but man, we had a show in Grand Rapids at my church, which is called The Edge. And a lot of us Christian hip hop artists, man, we come from that same church, man, and it's crazy how God has had this like one central point where all this creativity and talent has come from, bro. But anyways, we did a show at The Edge back in March, like 2 weeks before this pandemic started, that we had found out about it. It was like, man, yeah, so we just played that song, man, and I thought we were gonna break the floor. It was awesome. I loved it, man. So yeah, Wake It Up, bro. That's a hype joint, man. And when I was making that, I had a demo of it, and I played it for my homeboys, and we were all in the lab together. And my homie Steven was in there, and he was like, hey man, he was like, this is dope, bro. And he was like, do you mind if I give some suggestions? And so he had helped me a little bit with certain parts of it, man, and definitely helped me polish it up. And man, we shot the video at this place called Blues Gym in Grand Rapids, which actually, fun fact, the gym that we filmed the music video for it, Floyd Mayweather used to train there. So that's their kind of like, and actually in the video is one of Floyd Mayweather's brothers. Yeah, one of his brothers is in the video, man. He happened to be in the gym when we were filming. That's what's up. And so he was willing to be in the video, and it's dope, man. So yeah, Wake It Up.
All right, let's get into it. This is Wake It Up by Zay Marr. You about to get lit, baby.
Yeah.
I believe in what I'm speaking, everything I write. They be sleeping, they be dreaming that I never spoke. They too blind, let them know they on sight. Zay Marr, come on. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Turning up like it's a party. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Staying up like an insomnia. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Leaving them haunted. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake it up, wake it up, wake it up. Get up, wake it up, wake it up, wake it up. Get up, wake it up, wake it up, wake it up. Get up, wake it up, wake it up, wake it up. Get up. Good morning, sunshine. Did you have pleasant dreams? You had nightmares. Oh no, you wet the sheets. You dreamt that I'm a beast. Ay, monster when I speak. Ay, there, don't be scared. I'm leaving this track to cease. Lyrics on point like all my teeth. Man, I've been hungry. Look at my entree. Give me that hot plate. I'm in a feast. I am Travolta, man. I got the grease. And I'm a college grad. I got the crease. Hannibal Lecter, man. I need a taste of something delectable. My instrumental is looking so edible, like it's a phase. I'ma eat that there. Never will I ever be consumed by fear. I'ma do my thing. I'ma live my dream. I'ma tell the enemy to get up out my ear. Yeah, but I will not hear all the negativity you bring my way. I'ma curb that quick, get a workout in. I'ma searching for the reason for me to go in. I am the one taking a risk, reppin' Cologne, look at my fist. Look at me fail, that don't exist. Look at me, I have been chosen to go and I take what I need and whatever I want, leaving the rest. I'm in my zone, nobody will best me because the only thing that can beat me resides in my chest. Test the best to get a major L, play it safe and stay safe and sound. Fade away, you might make it out. Break it down, break it down, break it down. Hey, wow, say wow, he don't mess around like.
Wake It Up by Zay Marr. I told